The horrors of the natural world are indescribable. At times it feels as though the universe is preoccupied with unconsciously inducing trauma on the very soul, subjecting us to war, bloodshed, and destruction, ensuring you will never feel at peace again.
And that's kind of like Twitter. I don't know about you, but every day I log on to what I can only describe as the social media equivalent of detoxing in the back of a Ford F-150 while listening to a John Mulaney comedy special on a CD. They still make those? I've had a relatively clean career so far and done my best to stay unproblematic. Today I'm gonna burn that to the ground.
Twitter.com is a social media site and terror organization currently run by Elon Musk, a man who looks like Mark Zuckerberg got hit by a Tesla, and also his favorite band is Weezer. I feel nothing but dread and unhappiness every single time I use this app. It shows me the worst of humanity every single day. I can't recall very many times I've opened it and closed it feeling happier or fulfilled in any way, and yet I keep crawling back. So I did the only logical thing. I gathered up Twitter users big and small. I diligently tracked my usage. I interviewed someone who got canceled and even started some Twitter drama with other YouTubers.
Mia Cole.
My good friend and YouTuber made this tweet, which
She exposed us, she emasculated us.
And of course, my thumbnail was among the thumbnails.
Yeah, only you could have done this.
So, why is Twitter the way that it is? And by Twitter, I do mean not Twitter.
Elon Musk, in an act of allyship with the non-binary community, changed the name of Twitter to X.com.
I'm still gonna call it Twitter though, because I'm not a sheep. Twitter? I think you mean X? I'll kill you. Let's discuss the many sins of Twitter, from culture to discourse to drama to politics, and then finally, Mr. Musk himself. The content void is a monumental invention. If you're not actively thrusting thoughts into it, then you get to watch animals dance in a zoo, oblivious to the enclosure they're in. So, let's begin. Twitter as a social media site is like what would happen if you gave an entire generation unfettered 24/7 access to the largest swells of knowledge, horror, and sex, incubated them for 20 years, and then unleashed them into the wild. Except, that's exactly what happened. And you know what? I can't look away. My mind has been opened to the fundamental truths I can no longer run from. I understand now exactly what must be done. I am more powerful than I once knew. I'm the Jordan Peterson of my generation. The central question for me today is why do I, and so many others, keep going back to this evil place? What does that say about me? But more importantly, what does it say about you? I guess I'm gonna have to find out. And in order to understand Twitter, the first thing we have to grasp is its culture. And one aspect of its culture I find so fascinating is this really profound feeling of the feeling of profound loneliness and insignificance on Twitter is palpable. I can only really describe it as a cold, enveloping hug from a distant relative. It feels so familiar, yet so jarring. I like this. Oh, we are so back. Twitter is designed in a way to make you feel like a celebrity. Every like, every reply, every follow, all adds to a notification button just begging you to click and get that rush. However, even within its UI design, the app is already playing 4D chess with your dopamine receptors. Is this relatable? Unlike my first love and never-ending car crash TikTok, Twitter doesn't allure you with the standard 99+ notification message that we consumers have all been trained to long for. Rather, the app is unable to count past 20, a fact that is either mundane or a really keen insight into the intelligence of the current CEO. Did I mention I hate this guy? I really hate this guy. The barrier for entry to create is low. It's the only mainstream social media site that prioritizes text-only posts. It's like 4chan, except yeah, no, it's kind of like 4chan, incentivizing you to spew any and every thought that appears in your submissive little cortex. Posting on Twitter.com doesn't bring the same high that I know we all yearn for after being YouTubers for 9 years. This is a collectively shared experience we all have. Instead, you follow the breadcrumbs and be a good poster, telling the website you like exactly what happened, and in return, nothing. It gives you nothing at all. No audience, no engagement, no algorithm demanding perfection. In a way, it's kind of freeing. An escape from the optimization hell of modernity. I feel free. Perhaps this is why celebrities in 2013 went so hard for no reason. Stop! You know this is public, right? So, I'm Mr. Beast, right? We've established this. I'm just like Mr. Beast for real. I even started that little mini controversy when I subscribed to his paywall Twitter and everyone got mad at me. Remember that? Remember that? I'm just a girl in a world that doesn't want to see me happy. But you know what, woke mob? Now I happily ingest all the beast facts I so desire.
What's the first app you open on your phone in the morning?
Definitely Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend, but that's what I do.
I'm just like Mr. Beast because I also yearn for algorithmic optimization. It's an unfortunate lust that can just never be satiated. The only difference is I make art. Is that shade? I feel like that's shade. Truly the bravest video essayist, the only one willing to admit Mr. Beast is good actually. And yet they're still posting me to r/breadtube, the fuckers. But on Twitter, there is no optimization. I'm free of my chains, and that's a powerful thing for people like me. Now, does that mean I'm giving the people the cultural renaissance they yearn for? It could be argued. The culture of Twitter is instead held together by the people. And by the people, I do mean mental illness.
Twitter is the only place where well-articulated sentences still get misinterpreted. You can say, I like pancakes, and somebody will say, so you hate waffles? No, bitch. That's a whole new sentence.
Thank you, Joe Rogan. Your words get twisted, manipulated, and interpreted in the least charitable way possible. And the catch here is, if you're good at Twitter, this is the fun of the game. I don't know about you, but I enjoy the chase. And on Twitter, the chase is posting an innocuous photo of yourself and then having a bunch of guys go, ugh. Sorry, boys, this is a girl's channel now. You lost your rights after that one. Chaos. This is why you do it. You like chaos. Look, you can either choose to swim with the fishes or get eaten alive. The only way you'll ever have fun on this app is by relinquishing control to the masses. That's why there's so many bots. That's why the app is able to succeed. It delivers an experience unlike any other. It's a gap in the market that will never be replaced. I could go this whole video without talking about Blue Sky, Mastodon, or Threads. And I will. This is the only time they're mentioned in the script. They're all gonna fail, especially Threads. It's a shit app, Mark. Fix your app. I have yet to be branded. It's important to remember that nothing's real, especially online. That is, until everything's unmistakably real. You simply must remember that Twitter is not a place where reality is concerned. The internet is real so much as your existence within it is. If you hate reality, you can change it. Me personally, I choose to live in the reality where AOC does indeed have an alt Twitter account called Zaza Demon. Why am I glitching? The internet oscillates between not mattering at all and being the most important thing to ever exist. Remember January 6th? Case in point. Twitter also has a really sick sense of humor. You can basically leave your diplomacy and respectability politics at the door. They don't want to hear it from you. On Twitter, most national and global tragedies are hilarious. The impeachment of Donald Trump, the death of Queen Elizabeth, the thing at the Capitol. These are all really great opportunities to post. The culture is brought out by the posters. And the more unhinged the post, the better. And because of this, I truly believe everybody's timeline is like basically the same with just some slight variations.
People are like, ugh, I'm leaving Twitter. But I just saw a viral thread where someone argued it's classist to know how to boil an egg. You can't put a price on this. You'll have to drag me out.
This is what I like to call the Twitter camaraderie effect. And everyone who's used the app will know what I mean. Someone says the most insane shit ever, and then everyone piles on to discuss it. We all consume different takes and reactions, but the one thing we all have in common is we all saw the thing that sparked the discussion. And that, my friends, is the heart of Twitter. Unhinged posters. However, I guess we probably shouldn't also forget the other side of this coin. Twitter also brings out the worst in humanity. It breeds infighting where there's unity and outright war where there's division. It also has like a huge racism problem, and that's not good either. Sorry if this is a bit of a downer. I kind of have a track record of doing this to people. I think the reason vile things get spewed on Twitter is simply just because of the depersonalized nature of the platform. It brings you in under the guise of anonymity, which many are seduced by and soon find their souls corrupted in the process. But let's get real for a sec. You don't give a shit. All this, it means nothing. This isn't what you expect from a Miyako YouTube video. You want hot takes. You want pretentious philosophical posturing. You want drama. I get it. You want the good shit. So, fine. How about this? What are your thoughts on birthing culture?
Oh man, yeah. I think babies should be born in dungeons, like covered in mud, like in a pig pit.
Everything about birthing culture is wrong. Babies should be had at home, in beds and baths, not fluorescent hospital rooms. The process should be organic, unmediated by chemical or surgical help, and unassociated with the dread and pain it often is today.
There's like a lot of fear mongering around giving birth or like over medicalization. I just don't like the fact that like it's become commonplace to like everyone has their babies in a hospital.
So this is Jane. Jane is a Substack writer, but you could tell that by looking at her.
We have nothing to lose except our chains.
This tweet has 650 likes. and 6.5 million views. Now, if you're on Twitter, you already know this is a bad sign. Something has gone horribly wrong.
And of course, there's lots of medical reasons where you've got whatever problems, the baby has whatever problems, you should probably do it in a hospital because there might be issues. But there's more fear in the process than there necessarily needs to be for your average person. That's it, really. Other people can do whatever they want, but that was the extent of my take.
This is a top 10 tweet of all time for me. I'm not like super invested in birthing discourse, but what I love is the human spirit. And it's on display in this thread. How did it feel to receive that backlash?
Honestly, I was fine with it. Like, I kind of get a little bit of a kick out of getting dogpiled online just because it doesn't emotionally affect me a lot. They're going to be misinterpreting things and then they're going to be wanting to take out their aggression on somebody. And so it's like, if I happen to be that punching bag for 24 hours, I can take the heat.
So she tweets and backlash ensues. So she did the only logical thing you can do in that scenario. When everyone's mad at you and you're receiving criticism, you just keep going.
I've angered birthing Twitter with my unscientific opinions, so I'll keep going. Babies don't need toys.
Babies don't need toys. So you're in the midst of this like controversy. What made you decide to just keep going?
It is more fun than it is bothersome. And not fun then that like I'm seeking it out or I'm trying to say things that are inflammatory. But it's like, well, once this snowball has started going and it's outside of my control, I can either just be like, guys, I'm sorry, guys, you're all valid. I didn't mean it. I'm so like, and you can fall apart. Or you can be like, you're kind of overreacting and being dumb, so let me give you something to really overreact about.
That tweet had 6 million impressions and like 600 likes. Was there ever a point where you rethought it?
As in like, oh, maybe I've like my take is incorrect here.
Yeah, I mean like based on the outrage and also like how little support you got.
Here's the thing, I don't think so because I got quote tweeted into the kind of liberal mom side of Twitter, you could say. And so in that audience where then every single time it's getting quote tweeted, it's get spread to other people who aren't going to like the essence of the tweet, then you're not expecting to see support there, right?
The most fundamental part of Twitter culture is the reliance on what has been dubbed the Twitter person of the day. Every day, a person must be crowned the person of the day. This is an informal ceremony, but it's integral to the longevity of the platform. It's really important that you know this. You see, millions of thoughts are thrown into the vacuous void of social media every single second. And it's the job of the users to find the most unhinged take and start discourse. Never stop discoursing, my friends. This is how we break our chains. What do you think of the cycle of Twitter person of the day? And how does it feel to have been one?
It's funny because I didn't think that until I think you were saying that to me, like, Jay, you're the Twitter person of the day. To me, it seems like the cycle is kind of just natural and inevitable and inescapable and kind of speaks to the nature of online discourse at the moment, I think. Like, it's fun to be outraged. It's fun to dogpile. Not personally, but culturally.
This is exactly what happened to Jane. She tweeted, it got picked up outside of her sphere, and the rest is history.
So, no, I regret nothing.
Here's the thing, though. When I first heard that she had unintentionally went viral and read this tweet, my first thought was that of disappointment. 'Cause I know Jane. She has worse takes than this. No, the reason I was disappointed was because I was able to see what she meant. Albeit I see where the criticism stemmed from given the way it was worded. It's clear that this is a really sensitive subject, obviously so. The replies are filled with other women expressing genuine pain and detailing traumatic events and their own personal experiences, and I could feel for every single one of them. But I also had the context of who Jane is, and I knew that what she meant by this tweet had nothing to do with those horrifying experiences. This was not an attempt to anger people. This was an attempt to have a conversation. A small in-group conversation, but unfortunately, it came across in a bad light and wasn't introduced with the proper sensitivity to have the nuanced conversation required. 'Cause Twitter isn't a place for nuance. It's a place for dunking and clapping back. And my God, did she keep digging.
Many of you are likely prescribed chemical help, which will do nothing to alleviate your spiritual woes.
I'll say it. She's the GOAT. But all of this got me thinking, I hate this. Why do I keep doing this to myself? So many people claim to hate Twitter. The app is universally spit on by its own users, and yet we all keep coming back to it. Why? And that's what I'll be answering on today's video, so you're gonna want to watch till the end. Discourse on Twitter is the very core of the site. It sucks you in with enticing conversation and leaves you feeling empty. I set out to find out just what is the appeal of discourse. And why is it like that? I have an addiction. Hey guys, it's me, @Mia_is_divorced, an ad I made when I was 16 and will probably never come to regret. Come on, Sharon, give me what's rightfully mine. Discourse is a fundamental part of the Twitter experience. Sometimes I get on there and tweet the most insane take possible simply just to fuck with you. Everyone hates when I do this, but I refuse to stop. Discourse on Twitter is horrible and reductive. It boils down nuanced arguments into basic talking points due to its Machiavellian character limit. You're telling me I have to pay money to you to give you more content. Do you know who Ted Kaczynski is?
The world that's around us is pretty amazing.
I want to demonstrate exactly what I mean when I refer to discourse. Like when I talk about how nuance is lost and how people can just end up running in circles, having two very different conversations. What does that look like? Well, why don't we go find out? I'm really good at YouTube.
Twitter time. It's time for Twitter. This demonstration is for educational purposes only. Don't try this at home. Hey, it's Elon Musk. I love that guy. Aw, man. Aw, little guy. Don't worry. Dude, he knows more letters than me. These people are brain dead. Check marks are literally brain dead. He may be small, but he holds a ginormous place in our hearts. Go to hell. I don't even care if this is real or not. That's awesome. That's the best part about Twitter. I'm not even gonna check. No, stop. Down, boy, down.
When talking about Jane earlier, I mentioned quote tweeting and how I think it's the reason for her post getting so viral with the wrong pretenses. The quote tweet is such a powerful thing because in many cases it introduces the thing that it's referring to with the context that it's wrong. This is sometimes called dunking, and here's the thing, we could go back and forth on whether or not this is good or useful or praxis, as they say, but the reality of the situation is I don't care. I'm here to tell you that quote tweeting and dunking is like really evil, but also genius, and you should keep it around. Is this perhaps a bad thing? Sure. Am I like supposed to have a problem with that, or? Yeah, it's evil. The whole site's evil. Me when I go to Twitter and it's doing Twitter shit. Have you learned nothing? This is an evil place and I like it. Take your sensitive ass back to TikTok. My problem with Twitter is that people don't use it for what it's built for, and that's being insane. Quote tweeting and dunking misrepresents the issue at hand and casts a heavy limitation on the conversation being had, and my problem with that is, why are you having a conversation? At some point, it feels almost more damaging to even try to use Twitter productively. You're both coming at shit from like two different angles, and you don't even know that the platform itself has swindled your trust and danced on your grave. This is hell. You're in hell. What did you honestly expect? I just had this terrible nightmare where YouTube destroyed this video a few days after it came out, and I had to end up spending hundreds of dollars to re-upload it because of all the music licensing. Good thing that didn't actually happen. So the platform that is Twitter incentivizes this particular kind of infighting. Quote tweeting and dunking can be used in outward attacks against political or moral opponents, but a lot of the time they're actually used to perpetually rationally debate others in this weird perverse game of moral posturing. I'm hesitant to call this virtue signaling, partially because there's some prolific figures on the far right that have co-opted this phrase and now use it to mean people who have better morals than me, and I don't like that. But more importantly, I'm also inclined to think that these incessant corrections to others' initial takes are somewhat sincere and genuine. I do believe the instinct is coming from a good place of just trying to find the best solution possible for problems, but unfortunately it ends up disbanding communities that would probably do well from having a sense of unity, not having microscopic disagreements that end up boiling over and doing more harm than good. Once again, I'm here to say, infighting is bad. God damn it, now they probably just posted me to r/breadtube again. Now I gotta say a slur or something. I can't have this.
I gotta take some time to grow, but I don't wanna let you go. How did we get too comfortable? I gotta take some time to grow, but without you I'm miserable. I think I got too comfortable.
In 2018, Mac Miller released his pivotal album, Swimming. It was a really retrospective look on his life and how he was feeling at the time. Characterized by soft, delicate synths and infectious yet deeply personal lyricism, this album takes its time in getting where it's going, thanks in part to the production help of John Bryan. Mac released the album on August 3rd, 2018. He died just 1 month later. 2 years after that, his final album, Circles, was released posthumously. It was an even more honest, raw, and heartbreaking reflective album, once again beautifully orchestrated and delicate with its plucking instrumentation. This is one of, if not my favorite album of all time. Many of the songs have brought me to tears on multiple occasions. It's a piece of art that means a lot to me. So,
I've been missing you, still I continue tied up and tripping up, making the wrong decisions, and you sick of it all. But don't leave me, because it feel too good to be easy. Yeah, it's been a while and I'll leave it there for now. Shit, I'll probably make it better when you see me.
So let's say, given that context, I've made a horrible mistake and now find myself scrolling on Twitter, okay? And let's say I see a tweet like this. I don't care who they are. All white rappers are terrible. Now, my instinctual reaction might be to go on the defensive. What are you talking about? This guy, he's so good and he's gone. Why are you disrespecting him like that? What's wrong with you? Now, let's put ourselves in the context of this hypothetical person. They might have just saw this video.
It's the mayor of Magaville, I'm preaching again. You know that LGBTQ done went too far.
I'd probably be feeling the same way if I saw that, to be honest. There's also the issue of what you think of when you think white rapper. It's a label that doesn't put you in great company.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
In fact, I think there might be just like one good one. Is that controversial? I don't know. I'll say it.
He's gonna get rid of all immigrants.
Personally, I think this is one of those situations where both statements can probably coexist. But obviously, this effect of your own personal context being applied to every single thing you see on the site, times that by millions. Words mean a ton of different things to a bunch of different people. But I do want to illustrate the fact that sometimes good people say dumb things not realizing what they're saying. The issue is just simply, this isn't a good tweet. You know what is a good tweet? This. One gets across my point way better. The other is a lot more shareable. So if for some stupid reason I decided to go ahead and tweet this, I would naturally get a lot of backlash. And rightfully so, because I'm not a hack who feigns ignorance every time I get in trouble. Bitch. One thing, two different people begets two different conversations. That's just how language works. On the internet, you're required to have a take for the sake of shareability and relevancy. And that's part of the reason why the internet just inherently breeds conflict. Discourse is such a miserable thing because it's reductive in nature and inherently misrepresents people constantly. But the worst part is, it's not real. If Twitter upsets you, that's because you're doing it wrong. Twitter culture isn't real. It's all in your head. I understand. I absolutely understand. Sometimes Matt Walsh comes up in my feed and I just for a split second contemplate injecting Neuralink. But these people whose entire existence merely hinges on their ability to provoke outrage, don't let them win. They live in such a sad, monotonous existence. They're the definition of cogs in the machine. They're sewer dwellers. They don't matter. Don't let them win. But granted, maybe I'm not the best person to ask about Twitter discourse. My tastes aren't exactly universal. So I decided to rejoin the proletariat. I took a break from scabbing SAG-AFTRA and decided to get on the ground and do some real, honest community work. That's a joke. Please don't hurt me. I'm joking. Stay. Perhaps it's beneficial to see what normal people think about this. Normal's a strong word for these two.
Do you want to say how you got unsuspended, though?
Oh, dude, that was so funny. They said if I appeal my suspension and say that I believe that I was suspended for my right-wing views, they would unsuspend me. And that's what I did, and I got unsuspended. Most times I got suspended was for telling TERFs to fuck themselves. The first time I sent that meme where it was like, shut the fuck up, TERF, and it was like that anime girl with the gun. And I got suspended for that, and that was in like 8th grade.
How would you describe your Twitter usage?
Terrible.
Excessive.
I was on Twitter before this. Like,
we were just on
Twitter.
I literally tweeted before the interview started.
The first thing I did when I woke up this morning was open up Twitter.
How do you feel about discourse on Twitter?
It's so fucking annoying. I hate
it. People I feel like they're intentionally dense.
Dude, it's like, you make one claim on Twitter and
so
then-
you don't like pancakes?
Every single thing you say on Twitter can get misconstrued like that. Like, the second you say like, You know, I don't think this group of people deserve to die. You'll get like a shit ton of comments being like, actually, I think they deserve to die. And also, you're not mentioning this group of people who also deserve to die. Are you on Twitter right now? Dude.
Do you find discourse on Twitter to be useful or interesting?
Sometimes, most of the time, no. Like 99% out of the time, no.
I feel like there's very much like a winner's mentality on Twitter, where like you really have to win the argument or else you get killed in real life. You lose the game, you lose in real life.
Overall, how do you feel about Twitter?
I think it's a really okay platform.
I'm really mixed on it right now because I started using Twitter in like 6th grade and I'm going into my freshman year of college now, so I've literally been using Twitter for like 7 years. That's like almost half my life. And it's not like Twitter is this monolith in my life that takes over everything, but it has been like a big part of it because there's people that I've met on Twitter who I've like had friendships with. So it was a pretty big part of like my cultural awareness. And because Twitter was like such a, not integral, but like it was a big part of like my online media consumption and like kind of who I became through the internet, that like I'm really hesitant to leave it. I'm not ambivalent towards Twitter. I really like Twitter as like the concept, as the platform, but I really hate where it's going.
Skinny boy, where your muscles at? Used to walk to work, 8 hours, take the bus back. Ain't no time to stop, ain't no time for vacation. Y'all all on my spot, cause you know that I am A1. Don't go running your mouth, don't go running your mouth. Don't go running your mouth, don't go running your mouth.
The story goes that in 2013, as she was boarding a plane to Africa, Justine Sacco tweeted an insensitive joke. Her intent? Possibly to shed light on an issue she cared deeply about. The outcome?
I don't know about this one, man. I don't think I would have posted this, to be honest.
So she tweets and then immediately takes off. While she's in the air, it's picked up and spread across social media. And by the time she's landed, her life is already in shambles.
A woman who sparked a Twitter backlash over an offensive tweet that joked about AIDS in South Africa.
She was the #1 trending topic on Twitter. She was fired from her job. People were tweeting the hashtag #HasJustineLanded because they were marveling at the concept of a woman whose entire life was falling apart and she had no idea. Imagine a tweet you made blowing up while blissfully unaware on an airplane. Interesting concept. I always wondered what it would be like to land, turn off airplane mode, or just wait to get reception back because you're not a sheep, only to then be immediately bombarded by hundreds of notifications from Twitter of thousands of people talking about you. What I'm trying to say is, she's just like me for real. That's what I did. That's what happened to me.
So, we should probably talk about the tweet.
Okay, just gotta delete this shit, sorry. June 23rd, 2019, oh god. I board an airplane. You can't fucking read that. I board an airplane. This just so happens to be in the midst of a controversy involving some woman and a ukulele. I don't know, I'm not 100% on the details. I don't know why, nor do I really care. I'm okay with never knowing what kind of pain she was hiding behind her eyes. Luckily, I follow a YouTuber mutual of mine, and luckily he has the ability to care about this sort of thing, so I don't have to. Good for him. I could never. So before the flight, I open up my phone and I see this. Ah! Based off the thumbnail, I think I know what's going on here. Not good. But I find this amusing, so I peer into the void a little deeper, and it's like, everybody is the same. They all look alike, and that's funny to me because I have brain worms. The reason for this, as you might have guessed, is this man right here. It's his fault, it's his fault. This is a very popular thumbnail style, and as a YouTuber myself, I understand. I still think it's funny though, so I tweet about it. Really just to make fun of my friend Noah. The others were unfortunately just catching strays. Then the plane takes off, I have a nice little nap, and then I land. And that's when I discover, oh fuck!
Is there an official style guide for commentary YouTube?
This one tweet did irreparable damage to an entire online community. I mean, people were sounding off in the replies. I had to very kindly and politely ask everybody to stop doing online harassment in my peripheral vision. Because I don't know these guys, but they seem like nice people. This tweet got 77,000 likes and 2.2 million views. That's the highest viewed thing I've ever made on the internet, ever. Even higher than that one TikTok where I'd like read tweets and ASMR. I feel so much shame, so much remorse.
Babe, they're calling me Gen Z Bo Burnham again.
Now, one does not simply make a viral tweet and move on. They don't tell you about this at influencer school, but gather around, everyone. I'm here to tell you my actions had consequences. This one tweet went on to spawn several Instagram posts, over 1,000 tweets, and 5 reaction videos, including one from this guy who was not mentioned in the tweet, yet he appears to have a complete breakdown by the end of the video. So, sorry, man. This was not supposed to happen. I just noticed the thumbnails were similar.
There's this tweet on Twitter from twitter.com.
The hate website.
Now, if you're unfamiliar, a creator named Mia Cole made a playful little jab at the redundancy of commentary thumbnails.
Is there an official style guide for commentary YouTube?
And of course, my thumbnail was among the thumbnails because my video did quite well on the subject.
And all of them, the same fucking thumbnail.
Even though Mia clarified multiple times that this was a light joke, it didn't stop the discussions from getting really critical of commentary channels and to the point of insulting them.
Those ugly ass thumbnails is one of the reasons why I got bored of commentary channels and upgraded to video essays.
And you're just sitting there behind your keyboard telling us that we're the same person?
This fucking idiot going, oh, I can't believe she said that. Oh, I can't believe she did that. Uh-oh.
And then days later, she published this tweet, which contained screenshots of commentary YouTubers talking about her tweet, which was talking about their videos, which means we need to talk about
Twitter drama. It's hell on earth. It's somehow both the most important thing in the world and yet so inconsequential at the same time. It's like a really intense game of Monopoly or like an election in the United States. With Twitter drama, you'll often find yourself trying to explain the most basic of things to people. This isn't a value judgment of these people, it's a value judgment of how the pictures look the same. Chill out, man, my God. It's like if Aiden Ross and Steven Crowder had a love child. Sorry. So after all that, I decided to recreate my viral tweet. I just wanted to see what would happen. And I do mean recreate, because it's word for word. Recently, a new scandal has rocked the YouTube community. So there's this girl, right? And she like reacts to videos because she makes videos for children. And then there's this guy and he's like, you don't react good enough. And so he makes the videos reacting to her videos, but like badly. It's all really great, really riveting stuff, I know. But then out of nowhere, she went from like 0 to 100 and fucking doxed him. She took a photo outside of his house and was like threatening him. It was wild. And so of course, all the commentary channels swarmed over this situation. Because why not? It's free money. So I do what any good poster would do, and I tweet about it. And within 24 hours, I had another hit on my hands. Smaller scale, but still a hit, okay? Is there some kind of style guide for commentary YouTube? Is this gonna keep working every time? Is this gonna work every time? It's a shame though, I have a lot of really good hot takes about this whole situation. Maybe I should make my Sniper Wolf v. Jax Films commentary video. A little bit of nuance there, she did a lot of bad shit, but there's a lot of misogyny happening right now. Are we ready for that conversation? Are we ready for the conversation that even though it's a nuanced topic and she definitely did some bad things, there's also something to be said for the misogyny at play here? Are we ready for that conversation? Every couple of months, Twitter rediscovers that YouTube works on an algorithm, so YouTubers have to work within that algorithm. Oh wait, this is the same person. Gotta be a bit this time. I don't believe this is fully genuine. Man, bait used to be believable.
On the internet, drama has overtaken art.
Drama is more popular than content.
It's unfortunate that to get people to care about something, you have to make heads turn. It's a powerful force of nature, and I have little respect for anyone who uses it purely to further their own career. Whatever happened to art? Creating for the sake of making something beautiful, not just to get numbers to go up. And why do we keep letting people get away with it? It's okay to care about the popular trend. It's okay to have a take. It's okay to comment. But don't let that lawning turn into bloodlust for attention. None of this is real. Don't let it affect you. The internet, niche microdrama, none of it's worth it. Trust me.
I know that very well now. And I refuse to be dragged into the mud by people whose opinions I don't respect.
Mia, shut the fuck up!
So I can tell you from my own personal experience that blowing up is hell and you should never do it. If you or a loved one ever has a viral tweet, just throw out the Emma Watson meme and then destroy your phone. So I actually recently had the chance to drive in a Tesla, but thankfully I was then promptly obliterated by a semi-truck. So what I'm trying to say is, if you ever go viral on Twitter, turn that sucker on autopilot and see what happens. Look, this is like the one place where that kind of attention, not a good thing. And I'm a full-fledged attention junkie, so when I say you're gonna want to avoid the spotlight, you know it's bad, lest you become a topic of interest. And unfortunately, in the midst of writing this, another mutual of mine was taken from us.
So what's going on Twitter right now, man? What'd you do?
A lot is going on. Someone just posted a tweet that was just a viral tweet on its own. That was just the words like, I want shorter games with worse graphics made by devs who are paid more to work less. And I'm not kidding. Even just that image I see once a month going viral on Twitter. Like, it just has not stopped going viral since 2020. And so I made a video on it, and I made the title just, I want shorter games with worse graphics, obviously in reference to the meme, made the thumbnail like games that have stylized graphics and are a bit shorter, these like big indie games. And then someone who very obviously did not watch the video clipped the title thumbnail and said like, oh, this guy's calling all these games, all these big indie darling games, shit, because he's saying they have worse graphics. And it got like, I think it's at like 40,000 likes or something like that now. And basically everyone like purposefully decided that I was the one, like I was saying this honestly. And so everyone on Twitter decided to attack me and cancel me. And there's actual tweets from people just being like, I hate that he's talking about this in the video. Didn't see it, by the way.
Have you learned anything from being canceled?
People like hating stuff more than they like actually learning about what they hate.
Okay. I see what's happening here. I can see this is getting a little Twitter negative, and I don't want to come across as Twitter negative. I'm actually pretty Twitter positive. A lot of truly iconic shit happens here on the daily, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention at least some of it.
Do you consider Russia the enemy?
They bombed my home, so yeah.
So sounds like you're making an emotional appeal. I asked you why they are considered the enemy.
Cis cells be seething over femchads.
Cis cells and femchads are not in the Bible.
Check again, it's in there somewhere.
I'm sorry, but can we take a moment to praise how Tom isn't afraid to be around minorities? Oh, God.
Do not understand the impulse to cape for the government. When they do something wrong, the response should be, fuck you, fix it. When they do something right, the response should be, fuck you, about time.
That's how abusers think.
Do you understand the difference between the government and a partner?
Stewie, we can't both exist. I'm going to become half of you. And I need you to know that every moment you love being yourself, that's me. Loving you. And loving being you. Because you're going to be something extraordinary. You're going to be a human being.
We need insane people. We need, because it's so fun.
Iconic tweets are the cornerstone of Twitter. It's what keeps the sunk cost fallacy alive. It's the driving incentive to just keep going. When the world looks bleak, look to the benevolent guiding northern star. Twitter as a platform is in the unique position of having its longevity entirely decided by the user base of the platform. Its future hinging solely on the culture of the app. Unlike many other social media sites, which are either just too big to fail or just lack the collective unity that Twitter has. Iconic tweets are the backbone of the economy. But the issue is, They just don't always come up enough to justify the price of using Twitter. But maybe we could change that.
How would you describe what you do on the internet?
I just being silly. I don't know what else to describe it as. I'm just being a goofball. I think I tweet so much bullshit.
What was it that made you want to become a public figure?
It was never my intention. I gained traction on TikTok originally. And that's still where a lot of people know me from, even though I deleted my account like years ago. I don't know, it just started with me just goofing around and posting, doing my silly little jokes.
Do people often misinterpret your tweets?
There are some times where I'm like obviously joking or obviously serious. Like there are times like I'll post about how like I used to be addicted to heroin, or like, you know, that like people that like like my boyfriend died 5 years ago or something. I'll post about that and people are like, I can't tell if this is a joke or not. Like,
that's insane. That
would be a crazy joke.
What is it about the platform that incentivizes you to be serious and put your real thoughts out there? Like, what's the breaking point for you?
There are multiple answers. Sometimes I do it if I am just in a bad mood and like pissed off. And I'm like, fuck this guy for real this time. Yeah, I mean, if it's something that like really like triggers sadness or like anger or something in me, yeah, that's when I'll kind of post something genuine.
What do you find useful about Twitter?
Making friends was huge. Like everybody that I know and that I'm close with now, like it was because I was on Twitter. The people that I know through Twitter are very special to me and they make me very happy, and I'm so glad to know them.
So what is it that keeps you coming back to the platform?
You know, just like the friends I've made, the people I know, it makes me feel really good. And I get that attention and validation, which I love and crave. It makes my life happier. And I like being silly and I like making other people feel good, I guess, and laugh. And it makes me happy.
Guys, who put politics in my outrage machine? I am astounded. I am perplexed. I am downright befuddled at the obnoxious prevalence of genuine attempts at political discourse on a website I'd broadly categorize as an ever so slightly more digestible live leak. I firmly take the stance that if Twitter makes you mad, you're doing Twitter wrong. It's bait. It's not real. My God, you've fallen for it. Wake up, little guy. I'm bringing you back home. I'm doing God's work for gay millennials.
This is a sick line. That's so cool. I'm so glad I wrote that.
Look, I've been through the trenches. I know exactly what battle you guys are trying to fight, and while I get it and I think it's admirable, I'll tell you right now, nobody wins. I joined Twitter in March of 2017, relatively late to the game, but I speedran doomerism, died, and was born again. The prevalence of politics on Twitter. You sick freaks, look what you did. I get it, it's supposed to be like the digital town square or whatever, but like, stop. I genuinely would love to understand the masochistic urge to espouse your most personal and moral beliefs on a website that laughed for days after the death of a 96-year-old woman. Like, what? You think these people care about you? They don't care about you. I care about you. Give me money. Politics on Twitter, it's evil and wrong. Believe me, I too have found myself deep in the trenches of an ideological war with an opponent masquerading as an anime character with questionable fascist undertones. What I'm trying to say though is, it's all in your head. If Twitter hurts you, you're doing it wrong. Don't let it affect your emotions like that. It shouldn't have that power over you. And believe me, I get it. I understand why it does. It's good at that. It's designed to do that. You have to consciously train yourself not to let yourself feel the emotions that you want to feel on there. But truthfully, I know it's hard. It's really fucking hard. But you just don't let it do that to you. It's not worth it. It's really not.
Mia is back online. Okay, so here's an account called Crazy Clips that pops up in every single person's timeline, even though none of us follow it. Always asking stupid questions. Who's at fault here? I don't care. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. Farming engagement doesn't make you interesting. It makes you annoying and sad. What's the bit? What is the bit? Is bad? Is that bad to you? You're insane. I hate this app so much. I hate it so much. Why are we still doing discourse about this? Let her be. She's fine. You know, I just don't watch. I just don't watch. This is an awesome video. Why are we hating on her? This is so real. This man has done irreparable damage to a whole community of white women. The structure of this joke works better if you invert the fucking answers because it's better, because it's like a 2-act, like boom, bam, bam, you know? Setup, punchline. It's punchline before setup. That's not how that works. Write a better joke. Yes, very good, very good. Oh my god. Oh no, it's a cesspool. Oh no. You can't have anything anymore. I don't know, we should do this more. I feel like we should hang out more. We never hang out anymore.
As we've stated, Twitter is the poster girl for reductionist discourse. I mean, my god, there's literally a fucking character limit. I mean, I know there has to be. Elon can't digest all this info and respond any more tactfully than a 5-year-old with a thesaurus. Interesting. Looking into this. Trying to have a genuine good faith discourse inherently goes against the design of the platform, and furthermore, it only galvanizes the base of those who are able to boil down their politics into quickly shareable ideological pop phrasing with dog whistles and dog pills and dog threats. Why are you threatening my dog? This should go without saying, but if your truest, most genuine, authentic, nuanced political opinions can be boiled down to just 3 sentences, you haven't thought about the issue hard enough. Couple that with Twitter also being the discourse machine. So no matter how reductionist the platform may require you to be, you're still expected to defend these positions against the masses of people who may not fully comprehend what you're saying and will interpret your thoughts in the least charitable way possible. The fuck?
Real. Never debate on here. You get nowhere. Actually, no. I just changed my mind, as I continually do. Yell, nigga. Yell at white supremacy. But don't let it kill you. I don't want to tell marginalized people out there not to fight for their own rights, because that's dangerous. I don't want to tell you guys to be satisfied. But you have to understand that Twitter doesn't propel healthy discourse. Twitter doesn't give the space allowed to provide adequate nuance. Twitter doesn't let us debate our experiences. Twitter is a monolith made to support the norm. Elon Musk is a billionaire lead.
I'm not talking about me. I've learned my lesson. I'm talking about you. Yes, you, right there, the chronic Twitter user, or the person next to you who's not a chronic Twitter user and wishes to laugh at your suffering. But great, now both of us are laughing at you. This is not a great day for your ass, huh? And now with the added addition of the dreaded checkmark system, which don't even worry your sweet little heart about it, I'm of course gonna tear down along with your favorite white boy in the next section of the video. The whole system has been blown up even further with one political ideology predominantly toppling over the other, with the overrepresentation of the worst takes and shittiest memes I've ever seen in my life. I didn't think it was possible for such a big group of people to be so collectively unfunny. All of it, everything about it, is totally and utterly fucked. Subscribe to my Patreon. Hi, I'm Elon Musk's genetic makeup grown from stem cells in an artificial womb in a lab in Portland, Oregon. Recently, I made the difficult decision to, quote, go off the deep end white girl style. And me and my team would like to thoroughly apologize for the inconvenience. It will never happen again. And because of that, I'd like to share something that I learned during my time off. If I don't do my job, they don't pay me? What? Thankfully, I had the support of my patrons. It's a Patreon ad. We're doing a Patreon ad. Please, it's how I live. Come on. These guys in turn received 3 exclusive Mia Cole videos. So if for some ungodly reason you still desire more Mia in your life, feel free to go to patreon.com/Mia Cole for 3 extra hours of exclusive Mia Cole content and always more on the way. Since I had to re-upload this video, Patreon has been an absolute lifesaver. Like I said, it cost hundreds of dollars to re-upload this video after all the music licensing and stuff. And just because I love you so much, there are 5 new exclusive Patreon videos coming out weekly after this video drops. Again, considering adding more Mia to your content diet? Choose Mia. Head over to Patreon. I'll be putting out more content soon because I've healed, both physically and metaphysically. Political polarization has been a problem online for years, but now in this new cultural zeitgeist where opinions are spread instantaneously through the vacuous ether that is the online political arenas we've set up, the problem has and will only continue to get worse. And believe me, I'm saying that as someone with like relatively strong political views, I think. Online, I feel like I'm pretty normal, but in my day-to-day life, people see me as like a fucking communist. Polarization is widespread thanks to the internet. And as much as I believe striving for objective unity doesn't have to be conducive to progress, there is a boiling point ahead. And we're only reaching it faster with every day we collectively subject ourselves to content sludge via platforms whose only incentive is to drain us of ad dollars. The culture war is bullshit. I'll say it. I'll be the first to say it. Like, every time I hear about what's going on in it, I just don't care. Like, I can't even sympathize with people who do care. Like, I don't understand it. Manufacturing outrage about people and groups you don't even truly give a shit about just to get your check from the people paying you to keep others complacent so they can continue to drain the earth of its lifeblood. We see it time and time again. The people who profit from our fighting, they don't live these morals. They get others to live it for them. And that's great. I'm so happy you got your clicks, you provoked your outrage, you did a very nice job, your bank account's so fucking big. I'm so happy you got to actually feel something for once in your useless existence. I'm so proud of you for getting people to stop drinking Bud Light or whatever. But if you were to just sit and ponder for 1 microsecond, are you scared that when it all goes quiet, you'll realize that none of it mattered? Is that what you think will happen? Is that what you think will happen? Pointless outrage. For nothing. It's gotten worse. It's only getting worse. We form our own little communities as safe havens from the world, and that's good and that's needed, but sometimes it can do more harm than good. And yet the worst part of it is now, especially in this climate, it's more important than ever to have these communities. The problem only gets worse and worse as we go. People lose their minds in the void. I've seen it happen. Hate and obsession fuse together to create something horrid, something worse than bigotry, something vacuous. It's distressing. But sometimes it feels like that's just how it is now. That's just the world we've built. And that this is where we're headed. And there's nothing else we can do.
A few weeks ago, my grandfather died. He did so much good in the world. He was an amazing and accomplished physician. He helped so many people. He did so much to advance the treatment of various things. And then, just 3 weeks ago, he died. Just like that. It's kind of crazy how one moment you can just be there and the next moment you're gone. I've struggled a lot with how I want to remember him. He did so much good in the world. He deserves every last bit of praise, but he was also the kind of guy you had to Google in order to find out his accomplishments. He wouldn't tell you about them himself. But he did so much good. And I want to do some good too. Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably thinking, this is a weird video to remember him in, right? And yeah, I was kind of struggling with that too, but I finally came to the realization that knowing him and knowing how he was, he would have loved nothing more than to see his favorite granddaughter just completely eviscerate Elon Musk. So, with that being said, this one's for him.
Elon Musk is the devil, and here's why. Elon took over Twitter in 2022 after a string of lengthy legal procedures caused by him trying to back out of the deal. Presumably after realizing he spent $44 billion on an app run by spam bots and furries. Elon Musk is like what would happen if the physical embodiment of a Reddit mod finally fulfilled his lifelong dream of escaping the uncanny valley between animated amalgamation of asbestos and a real boy. He looks like his assistant has to inflate him every morning with a tube of nitrogen and younger men's blood. He could be on the warning label of cigarette packaging in Australia. He looks like the decaying relic of a washed-up 30-plus metrosexual after too many whistleblowers came out against him. Call me a Tesla factory worker the way I'm forced to work 12-hour shifts on the floor of a manufacturing plant devoid of all freedom and meaning. That one wasn't even a joke. Imagine never inventing anything and still having both the audacity and the unwavering narcissism to call yourself a visionary. And the only thing Elon's envisioned is So I'm realizing now that some people might not know why Elon is so horrible, and now I look like an asshole. So if I were to sum it up briefly, but first up, we gotta talk about the X rebrand. Elon's latest fuckery has been rebranding the site to X, which is terrible, not only from a design perspective, as it negates the previous branding as one of the most iconic and well-known social media sites of all time, but also from a fuck you, why are you doing this to me, stop ruining my favorite toy kind of way. I'm not gonna act like some of my criticism towards the X rebrand can't just be boiled down to, God, you're so annoying. This is stupid. It looks dumb. You're gonna fail. Just like all the other grand visions Musk has had have failed. Remember this? You remember that? You remember this? Ooh, remember this? I've been in a Tesla. They're not that cool. Also, I got hit by a semi, apparently. Which, to be fair, deserved. The vision for X is this like everything app. I think WeChat, but for the US and shittier. It also falls in line with Musk's obsession with the X as like the symbol of the new and the exciting and the unknown. X.com was originally a banking service he started, which got bought by PayPal and who subsequently kicked him out of his position as CEO, which like, I can't imagine why. Nowadays, X.com just redirects you to, still Twitter.com. Fascinating. You could almost say this change to X is like an ongoing process. What's the word? A transition. The key implementation by Musk was the checkmark system. The ability to purchase a verification badge has done demonstrable damage to the platform. Crypto bros, culture war bottom feeders, diehard Musk fans, and alt-right weirdos have become the key demographic of the checkmark. Oh, and also the OnlyFans models. Good for them, I guess. Twitter Blue is so unbelievably stupid. Fix your Patreon benefits. Mine are better. So, how do you feel about Elon?
He's the person I hate more than anyone in the world.
I fucking hate him.
Everybody I know, like, despises him with a passion.
Just the way that people think he's a genius and think that he's doing good things pisses me off so much. Elon Musk is like a genuinely like an undeniably evil man.
In like middle school and like late elementary school, I thought Elon was funny. I was like 12 or something. I didn't know about all his fucking like labor violations. I didn't know about his like fucking South African apartheid emerald mine. Like,
but he did want to make a flamethrower.
Like that was
that's
cool as
funny
shit.
as shit.
So, there you have it. Every single person is anti-Elon. Nobody likes this guy. Except Jane.
I am a pretty big Elon Musk apologist. Like, I like Elon Musk in terms of his industry and kind of like egoic optimism and like, you know, we can do anything. We're gonna go to Mars. We're gonna have electrical cities. We're like I really respect all of those aspects of his personality a lot.
Every time she says something like this, I'm like, no, stop. This is so you. Elon has ruined Twitter completely, totally, and utterly. When Elon bought the company, the culture of the app noticeably shifted. The fighting became more brutal. The polarization grew exponentially. And you know what else grew exponentially? The use of the N-word. You want to take a guess which group was using it? The most insidious part of Musk are his legions of fanboys. It's actually absurd. Even my beloved Mr. Beast fell for it. Jimmy, wake up. I can fix him, guys. Please, just give me a chance. I promise I can fix him. Elon fanboys are the ones who take over the dirty work of spreading his hatred around without him ever having to get his grubby little rich hands dirty. Misogyny, racism, anti-Semitism can all be explained away by some mystery other group of bigots. After all, He's just asking questions.
It's important to note that a lot of Elon's alt-right tendencies are really sneaky. He quietly boosts figures via his Twitter account without ever having to say much in order to keep his hands clean. I hate to say it, but it's a much more sophisticated strategy hiding behind plausible deniability. But when it comes to deliberately platforming genuine stochastic terrorists like Chaya Raychek, who truly is evil, I think criticism might be fucking warranted.
Interesting. Looking into this.
Elon is a truly evil man. But that doesn't matter. None of this matters. He was still able to buy one of the biggest social media companies in the world, and he's free to run it into the ground. 'Cause I guess it doesn't matter. No need for consequences. Platform hate. Silence dissenters. Kill the business.
No, I am not evil. I just misunderstood.
I wonder what happens when you have over 150 million followers and you exclusively interact with other equally slimy, spiritually evil culture war figures. Hate speech is inevitably defined by those who hate speech. Your mind is melting. Jordan Peterson really is the most insidious of culture war philosophers. You sycophantic fuck. You know nothing of the depths of the human mind. I urge one of you, please, make a 3-hour documentary about Jordan Peterson and report back the results. Evil. That's the only way I can describe it. New Age Twitter, it's evil, it's devious, it's sinful.
People are so mean online.
Twitter is a hellish landscape devoid of value and meaning. We throw our thoughts into the void for the sake of engagement. And why? So advertisers can make more money? In the grand scheme of the world, the universe, is this what we want to build? Spending time fighting with each other to win a never-ending battle of superiority over one another. I spend an average of 1 hour a day on Twitter. That's 7 hours a week, 28 hours a month, 336 hours a year, or 14 straight days. 1 hour a day, 7 hours a week, 28 hours a month, 14 lost days. Time has been going by so fast. I hope I learn my lesson soon. Because we're all gone too soon. No matter how great you are, it's also fleeting. And while I'm still here, I want to make a difference. I want to do something, anything. I hope you have a good night. I'll see you next time. I'll be around. I always am. Until then.
And I'm bad like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I still wanna party. Pink felt like I'm ready to bend. I'm a 10, so I pull in a Ken. Like Jazzy, Stacy, Nikki. All of the Barbies is pretty. All of the Barbies is bad. It girls, and we ain't playing tag. Rad, but he spank me when I get bad. I'm in LA, Rodeo Drive. I'm in New York, Madison Ave. I'm a Barbie girl. pink Barbie dream house. The way Ken be killing shit got me yelling out like the scream house.
She a Barbie bitch with her Barbie click. I keep dragging her so she bald a bit. And I see the bread, I want all of it. And I want the green, so I all of it. And I throw it back so he losing it. And I give the box with no shoes in it. Yeah, I know the trick, so I got him brick. Yeah, they know who hit me and Barbie, bitch. And I'm bad like the Barbie.
I'm a doll, but I still wanna party.
Pink felt like I'm ready to bend.
I'm a 10, so I pull in a Ken.
Like
Jazzy, Stacy, Nikki.
all of the Barbies is pretty.
All of the Barbies is bad. It girls, and we ain't playing tag.
I'm still gonna use the app though. Did you see that one time Jordan Peterson tweeted milking